Okay, so I wanted to talk about a video that we shot. We just took our trip to Disney World and we were able to ride the Skyliner from Pop Century and Art Animation over to Epcot. We had been recording content for the week of things that we were doing, rides that we were riding, and stuff like that. On this particular day, we went to Epcot. The weather was really nice and there was a lot of construction going on. There's a lot of things happening at Epcot that are coming. One of the biggest things we were looking forward to was seeing Ratatouille opened, but it was not yet. There was a barricade up over that section, although there was an opening like leading down that way. There's a restroom down there you can use. Later in the evening, we walked around the entire park. I mean, we kind of went to the left from the Skyliner. It lets off near the Beach Club entrance near the World Showcase. We took a left and went over. We rode Soaring. It was very nice because there was no line. We basically walked straight on to the ride. We then went next door and rode The Land, which was no ride. Living with the Land, I think, is the name of the ride. There was no wait. We've never been able to walk straight on and get on the boat, and we did that. That's always an interesting ride to take. I like seeing all the innovative things that they're doing futuristically to grow more efficient crops and to the fact that they actually grow a lot of the foods that they're selling within the park. I mean, a lot of the vegetation, a lot of the vegetables and fruits and stuff they grow right there at the park, which is very helpful for them financially, but also innovative because they're looking at new ways to do things, which is kind of Walt Disney's idea is building this community that could be self-sustaining there. So we did that. Then we walked over to the Seas. We rode the Seas, which is kind of a goofy little ride with Nemo and it's one of those that goes around in a circle and you just watch characters on the thing and it's just something to do. Um, it's for kids. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's not a thrill ride at all. You face one direction and you just look at stuff, and it's cute to see Nemo and Dory, but other than that, it's kind of dumb. So we left there and went to Spaceship Earth. As we were walking near Spaceship Earth, we saw a lot of construction going on, a lot of big monolithic type barricades that blocks you from seeing what's going on where there used to be all these buildings. They're tearing some down, they're rebuilding some stuff. There's lots of things going on. And they don't want you to see it. And possibly that's why they're not running the monorail from the parking area at the ticket and transportation center to Epcot. That is not running. Probably my wife made a comment because they don't want you to see all that, which makes sense. So, and it may be a health risk also because, I mean, as they're tearing things down, there's a possibility that maybe it could fall and hit somebody or hit the train as it goes by. And if it's not running, then you don't risk that. It just takes that out of it. And right now with COVID, with lower attendance, again, they have a 35% capacity. Um, that's not going on. I'm looking at my hair in the thing. Why didn't anybody tell me my hair is all funky looking? So anyway, uh, from there, we went over to Test Track and we did wait in line there. We waited probably 25 minutes to ride Test Track. Um, in the past, we've either gotten fast passes to ride that, or for a while they had tried this single person rider line, and we didn't necessarily care that we sat next to each other on the ride. So a lot of times we would jump in that line, and it's better than a fast pass because you could basically walk straight on the ride and ride it, and it's a neat ride. Um, GM is a sponsor, or used to be a sponsor. Now it's Chevrolet, or it has been Chevrolet for a while. I don't know if it always has been, but I want to say GM was, and now Chevrolet is. So when you go in the lobby, they're not doing the single rider line. They're not doing fast passes. You have to wait in line, and the social distancing thing worked fine. There is the spacing gap on the ground of tape you're supposed to stand on and that kind of stuff. So we did that. And right in the front lobby, when you walk in, there's this futuristic looking convertible car. I want to say it's called like a Myanmar is the name of it. Miyanmar, I think is the name of it. It's a concept car. It's a convertible. At first glance, I thought, wow, is this the Corvette of the future? I mean, it looked really cool. Um, it's a concept car, obviously, but it's really awesome to look at. We walked around the corner and they had a concept car for a new electric vehicle that kind of like a smart car. And it was weird because they had it blown up in a section where at one point you see the car and it looks like the size of a smart car. And then it looks like they've blown it up in sections so that you can see how it's put together with the electric battery, with the wheelbase, with the body, with the front windshield, and it's all like in stages. And my wife looked at it, she goes, "Oh, look, a transformer!" It does kind of look like a transformer. And I was like, "Yeah." So anyway, we rode the ride. It was great. When we got off, there was a really cool uh, Corvette, the new Stingray Corvette. Was it right there as soon as you come off? A big yellow one, beautiful. We of course took pictures, and I'll put those in right here. Okay, so looking at the car, amazing, beautiful car. Um, was really cool to see up close. They had other vehicles there that you could look at, but literally that new Corvette looks like an exotic Ferrari type car. I mean, and I know it's supposed to be their big super car, and for the price, you can't beat it. Apparently, I've listened to lots of people who are car people talk about what an amazing piece of machinery it is. That being said, I don't think I'd ever own one, even if I had the money. I don't know. I can't speculate honestly. I mean, I say that, but who knows? If I had that kind of money and I drove it, I'd be like, ooh. But nah, probably not. It's just not me. But it's a cool car. It's a ooh wow kind of car. In the past, Corvettes have been kind of associated with in the 80s and 90s, kind of with d bags, with 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 a bunch of older guys who think a lot of themselves or have very low self esteem, and so they're trying to compensate with this car. I mean, that's sort of been the tagline for the Corvette for a while. The older Corvettes, of course, are really cool. You know, the 50s, 60s Corvettes, really cool. Um, but then they sort of got into this weird Miami Vice douchebag kind of guy who would drive those. Um, I mean, it is what it is. That's just what it is. So anyway, you can't drive anything like that, or any other type of supercar, and not immediately get the attention of the cops looking at you. So, I mean, if you were going 5 miles and over the speed limit, I'm sure the cops would be like, "I'm getting this dude today." I mean, but if you're in a minivan and you're a little bit fast, I mean, that's kind of an interesting question for a police officer. Would you be more willing to pull over a Corvette going 5 miles over the speed limit, or would you let a mom driving a minivan going 10 miles over go just because you're like, I get it. I mean, that's an interesting thought. So anyway, I'm gonna throw that out there. Answer that if you can. Let me know. Stuff I heard podcast at gmail.com or anywhere on YouTube you can answer it. That'd be great. I'm just kind of curious. So anyway, we left there. We made our way around the showcase. We went over to Norway. We had watched a Disney food blog on YouTube. There's a lady on there that does a great review of different foods in different countries. And in Norway, they had this thing called shortbread that was really good. Um, we rode the Anna and Elsa Frozen ride. We waited in line for maybe 25 minutes there. Um, Very quickly moving line. That's a cool ride, even for adults. There's some cool digital mapping. It used to be a ride for Norway that was like a ride with the Vikings kind of thing. You do get wet, and it was cold, and I got cold, wet water on my hiney, and it was unpleasant. Towards the end of the evening, I was like, my butt's really wet and cold now. But we walked over to this bakery that was near there, and we got the shortbread, which was huge. I mean, it was really big. It's definitely a shareable dessert. We got one of those, and we had brought water with us and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, that was nice. Nice little treat. We worked our way around the World Showcase, stopping and looking here and there. We ended up in France in the evening, and walked over towards the Ratatouille area once we got our Grand Marnier Slushy. All right, so we're in front of the new Ratatouille area, 2021 opening. This is February. It's not quite open yet. We rode the Skyliner, which you can see over here on the right. We rode the Skyliner over, and we could see that the barricade is still up, but from the Skyliner leading over to the Riviera or the hub at Caribbean Beach, you can see the opening to the ride. It is getting close, but this is open. This is a walkway down to some restrooms down there, and there's like a cafe that's going to be opening soon. You can see that stuff over that way. But anyway, very soon, very soon. They have a orange slushy at one of the little drink areas near the water, and they always ask you, do you want an extra shot of Grand Marnier as a floater? Like, no, this is enough, trust me. Plus we end up splitting it. I think the drink is like $11. But it's sort of a tradition. We heard about it first on the food blog, and we've been doing it, each time we go. It's like our splurge drink. It's the one time we'll drink something. So we got a drink, we shared it. We walked over to Ratatouille. We couldn't see anything other than the cool sign. I took some pictures. I'll put those in here. Okay. And that was it. I didn't record anything. I was just looking at the inventory of stuff that I'd recorded, and I didn't record any of that. And I was like, well, oh, crap. I gotta make up for that. So anyway, this is me making up for it, this video. So I hope this helps fill the gap of that day. I have lots of content left to do. So stick around for that. Check out the podcast stuff I heard. My wife and I did about a 2-hour podcast as we were driving back from Disney, and we talked a lot about our trip. I don't have a video for it because it was only audio, but it can be found everywhere where you find your podcasts. Okay. Thanks for listening and watching, and y'all take care.